Welcome to the Study IQ English podcast community. Are you ready to boost your English listening and writing skills? This episode is designed to help you do just that by listening to real-life stories and examples. As you listen, pay close attention to the key words, phrases, and how the story unfolds. This will not only improve your listening comprehension but also help you write more naturally in English. So hit that like button and let's dive in. Today, we're going to explore an interesting topic: how to stay calm when things get tough. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been in a situation where everything seemed to be going wrong? Maybe something unexpected happened and you felt like you were losing control. Think back to a time when you had to keep your cool. How did you manage it? I remember one instance when my friend Jack had to face a stressful situation. Jack and his wife were on a road trip when their car broke down in the middle of nowhere. It was late in the evening and they were far from the nearest town. Jack was a bit nervous at first, but he kept his composure. He called a mechanic, made a plan, and even cracked jokes with his wife to keep her spirits up. Instead of panicking, he found a solution to the problem. In these kinds of moments, staying calm can make all the difference. When we panic, we often make decisions we haven't thought through properly. But when we stay calm, we can think clearly and take the right steps forward. Let's consider another example. My friend Sarah recently had a big presentation at work. She was anxious because it was her first time speaking in front of so many people. But instead of letting her nerves get the better of her, she focused on breathing deeply, smiling, and remembering what she wanted to say. She even practiced beforehand with her husband, who gave her some great advice. By the time she was on stage, she felt much more confident and did a fantastic job. Now let me ask you, when you face difficult situations, how do you stay calm? Do you have a favorite strategy, like taking deep breaths, or maybe focusing on something else for a few minutes? Remember, everyone faces challenges, but how we react makes a huge difference. As we go through these examples, try to think of ways you can apply these lessons in your own life. How do you handle tough times? What helps you stay calm and think straight? This will help you improve both your listening and your speaking abilities. One important thing that helped Tom was writing down the main points he wanted to make. This way, he didn't have to worry about forgetting anything important. When the day arrived, he stood in front of the group, took a deep breath, and began speaking. Even though he was still a little nervous, Tom felt more confident because he had prepared. By the end of his presentation, his colleagues were impressed with how well he did. What can we learn from Tom's story? Preparation is key when it comes to staying calm. When we take the time to get ready for a situation, it helps us feel more in control. Whether it's a presentation, a meeting, or even just a conversation, practicing beforehand can really make a difference. I've also learned that taking a step back and thinking about the situation before reacting can be really helpful. For instance, I remember when I was helping a friend plan a family event. The event was just a few days away, and things weren't going according to plan. There were some last-minute changes to the schedule, and everyone was a bit stressed. But instead of getting upset, I told my friend to take a few minutes to relax and think about what we could do next. We came up with a new plan, and everything turned out fine. It was a reminder that taking a moment to stay calm and look at the situation from a different angle can help us find a solution. Have you ever been in a situation where you had to step back and rethink your approach? Maybe it was at work, at school, or even with your family. How did it help you stay calm and solve the problem? Think about that for a moment. Let's look at another story, this time about how to stay calm in a situation involving your health. A few months ago, my colleague Lisa had an unexpected health scare. She wasn't feeling well and had to go to the doctor. At first, she was very anxious because she didn't know what was wrong. But Lisa remembered what her husband John had told her. It's important to stay calm and take one step at a time. So instead of panicking, Lisa took a deep breath and went to the doctor. Fortunately, the doctor was able to explain the situation and give her some advice to improve her health. Lisa's story is a good reminder that when we face health problems, staying calm and seeking professional help can lead to better outcomes. Panicking in situations like this can only make things harder. But by staying calm, we can take the right steps to get better. How about you? Have you ever had a health situation that made you anxious? How did you manage to stay calm and find the right solution? I'm sure these moments taught you something important about handling stress. These stories show us that staying calm isn't always easy, but it's possible. It's about finding ways to focus, prepare, and stay positive. And by practicing these skills, we can become better at managing stress in all areas of our lives. Let's take a quick break and think about something. What are some techniques you can use to stay calm in your daily life? Maybe it's taking deep breaths, talking to someone you trust, or even just taking a few minutes to relax. Whatever it is, remember that staying calm is something we can all improve with practice. Now let's continue with another real-life example of how staying calm can lead to success. Last year, my friend David was getting ready for a big job interview. He was really nervous because it was a position he really wanted, and he had never been in such a serious interview before. The night before the interview, he couldn't sleep because he kept thinking about all the things that could go wrong. But then his wife Anna gave him some advice. She told him, "David, remember to take a deep breath, stay calm, and just be yourself. You've prepared for this, and you know the answers." David took her advice to heart. The next day, he took a few deep breaths before the interview and reminded himself that he was ready. When David arrived at the interview, he felt nervous, but he didn't let it control him. He listened carefully to the questions and answered them confidently, thinking about the advice his wife had given him. In the end, David got the job. His calmness during the interview helped him stay focused and show his best qualities. David's story teaches us that when we're facing something big like a job interview, staying calm helps us make a good impression. It's easy to get nervous and think about all the things that could go wrong, but by focusing on the task and staying calm, we can perform better. Let's take a moment to think about your own experiences. Have you ever had to go through an interview or an important meeting? How did you manage your nerves? What techniques helped you stay calm and focused? Another situation I want to talk about is when you're dealing with an unexpected problem, like a delay or something going wrong. A friend of mine, Michael, was planning a family gathering. The day before the event, the weather forecast said it would rain all day. Michael was worried because the event was supposed to be outside, and he had worked hard to organize everything. Instead of letting the rain ruin his plans, Michael decided to stay calm. He quickly made a backup plan. He called his guests and told them about the new location. He also prepared extra indoor activities to keep everyone entertained. The next day, even though it rained, the event went smoothly. Everyone had a great time indoors, and Michael's calm approach helped him manage the situation well. This story shows us that problems can come up at any time. But if we stay calm and think clearly, we can find solutions. Michael didn't panic. Instead, he looked at the situation and found a way to make the best of it. So next time something unexpected happens, try to stay calm. You might find that you can handle it better than you thought. Think about a time when something didn't go as planned. How did you handle it? What would you do differently now to stay calm and solve the problem? Let's keep going with another example. Last year, I had a small accident at home. I was cooking dinner and I accidentally cut my finger. It wasn't too serious, but it was painful. At first, I felt a little panicked, but then I took a deep breath and told myself to stay calm. I quickly cleaned the wound and put on a bandage. I didn't need to go to the hospital, but I was able to take care of it calmly and avoid making it worse. This is another good example of staying calm during an emergency. If I had panicked, I might have made the situation worse. Instead, I focused on solving the problem and took care of the injury right away. Think about your own life. Have you ever had a small accident or a moment when something went wrong? How did you stay calm and take care of the situation? It's helpful to remember that staying calm can help us make better decisions in even the most unexpected moments. Now I want to ask you, what are some of the challenges you face that make you feel nervous or stressed? Maybe it's work, school, or even something in your personal life. How do you think staying calm could help you in these situations? As we continue with this episode, remember that staying calm isn't something you have to do perfectly right away. It takes practice. The more you practice staying calm in everyday situations, the better you'll get at handling difficult moments. A few months ago, I was with my friend Rachel. She was planning a big surprise birthday party for her husband Mark. She had been working on the plans for weeks, making sure everything was perfect. But on the day of the party, the caterer called her to say there was a mistake with the food order and it wouldn't arrive on time. Rachel felt very stressed because the party was only a few hours away and she didn't know what to do. Instead of getting upset, Rachel took a deep breath. She remembered something her grandmother had told her. If you can't change something, don't let it ruin your day. Rachel decided to stay calm and find a solution. She quickly called a local restaurant and asked them to help out with some food. The restaurant agreed, and the food arrived just in time for the party. Everyone had a great time, and Rachel's husband was so happy with the surprise. Rachel's story shows us that when things go wrong, it's important to stay calm and think clearly. Instead of panicking, she focused on finding a solution. This helped her get everything back on track and made the party a success. Think about your own life. Have you ever planned something big like a party or an event? What happened when something went wrong? Did you stay calm, or did you get stressed out? Maybe you can think of a way to stay calm in the future when things don't go as planned. Another example of staying calm in a difficult situation is from my friend Ben. He works in a busy office, and one day there was a big mistake with a project at work. The client was upset, and everyone in the office was feeling stressed. But instead of panicking, Ben decided to step up and take control of the situation. He talked to the client calmly and explained how they were going to fix the mistake. He also spoke with his team and helped everyone focus on finding the solution. Ben's calm approach helped reduce the stress in the office and turned the situation around. Ben's story teaches us that when we face problems at work or in other areas of our lives, staying calm can help us find solutions faster. When we stay calm, we can think clearly and make better decisions. Sometimes our calmness can even help others feel more at ease too. Have you ever been in a situation at work or school where everyone was feeling stressed? How did you stay calm in that situation? What could you do differently next time to help yourself and others stay calm and solve the problem? Let's move on to another example. A few weeks ago, I was at the grocery store when I noticed a woman standing in line at the checkout looking frustrated. She was holding a lot of items, and the line was moving very slowly. She was starting to get upset, but instead of joining her in the frustration, I decided to stay calm. I smiled and said to her, "I know it's a long wait, but it will be over soon. Let's just take a deep breath." The woman smiled back and seemed to calm down a bit. Sometimes small things like staying calm in a stressful situation can help others feel better too. It's like when someone is upset and you stay calm, it can help them feel more relaxed. Have you ever been in a situation like that? How did you handle it? Did staying calm help the situation? Let's continue thinking about ways to stay calm in different situations. For example, when you have a problem at home, like a leak in the roof or something breaking, staying calm can help you find the right solution. If you get too stressed, it's easy to forget the steps you need to take, but by staying calm, you can think clearly and handle the situation with confidence. What are some ways you can practice staying calm in your everyday life? Maybe it's by breathing deeply when you feel stressed, or by taking a moment to pause before reacting. Think about how you can use these techniques in your own life. It's important to remember that staying calm is not always easy, and it's okay to feel stressed sometimes. The key is to practice staying calm in small situations so that when something big happens, you're ready to handle it with a clear mind. As we continue with this episode, think about what you've learned so far. How can staying calm help you in your life, and how can practicing it every day improve your English listening and speaking skills? A few months ago, I had to go to a doctor's appointment that I was really nervous about. I didn't know what to expect, and I was worried it might hurt or take a long time. When I got to the doctor's office, I started to feel a little anxious, but then I remembered what my friend Sarah always says. When you're nervous, take a deep breath and focus on the present moment. I decided to try that. Instead of thinking about what could happen in the future, I focused on the present. I told myself that everything would be fine. As I sat in the waiting room, I took slow, deep breaths. When it was finally my turn to see the doctor, I felt much calmer. The doctor explained everything to me, and the appointment went smoothly. This story shows us that sometimes we feel nervous about things, but focusing on the present moment and staying calm can help us handle them better. It's easy to imagine the worst-case scenario, but if we stay calm, we can think more clearly and not let our worries control us. Think about a time when you've had to go to a doctor or dentist. Did you feel nervous? How did you stay calm? Sometimes just breathing and focusing on the moment can help us feel better. Let's talk about another situation where staying calm made a big difference. A few weeks ago, my friend George was on his way to work when he got stuck in traffic. He was running late for an important meeting, and the traffic seemed to get worse and worse. George started to feel really stressed, but then he remembered that getting upset wouldn't make the traffic move any faster. Instead of continuing to worry, George decided to turn on the radio and listen to a podcast. He used the time to relax, and by the time the traffic started moving, he was feeling much better. George's story teaches us that sometimes we can't control the things that happen around us, like traffic or delays, but we can control how we react to them. If we stay calm and use the time wisely, we can feel better and avoid getting more stressed out. Have you ever been stuck in traffic or experienced a delay? How did you handle it? What can you do next time to stay calm and use the time more effectively? Let's now think about a different situation. Making decisions. My friend Anna was recently faced with an important decision at work. She had 2 job offers, and she wasn't sure which one to choose. At first, she felt overwhelmed by the pressure to make the right choice. But instead of rushing to make a decision, Anna took her time. She made a list of the pros and cons of each job and thought carefully about what was most important to her. By taking a step back and staying calm, Anna was able to make a decision that felt right for her. She didn't let stress or pressure rush her into a choice. Sometimes, when we stay calm and take the time to think things through, we can make better decisions. Have you ever had to make an important decision? Maybe it was about school, work, or something in your personal life. How did you stay calm and make the right choice? Taking your time and thinking clearly can really help you make better decisions. This brings me to another point. When we stay calm, we can also be more patient. A few months ago, I was waiting in line at the post office, and the line was moving very slowly. Many people around me started to complain, but I decided to stay patient. Instead of getting frustrated, I used the time to think about what I needed to do for the rest of the day. When it was finally my turn, I was in a much better mood because I had stayed patient. Sometimes waiting can be frustrating, but if we stay calm and patient, it can make the experience more pleasant. Think about a time when you had to wait for something. How did you feel? Were you able to stay patient, or did you get frustrated? Practicing patience can really help us stay calm in situations where we have to wait. I know it's not always easy to stay calm, but remember that it's a skill we can practice. The more we practice, the better we get at handling stress and challenges in a calm way. This not only helps us in real-life situations, but it also helps us improve our English listening and speaking skills. If you keep practicing staying calm in different situations, you will find that it becomes easier over time, and as you practice, you'll get better at listening and understanding English, because you will be more focused and able to think clearly. Think about all the different ways you can stay calm. Maybe it's breathing deeply, taking a moment to relax, or focusing on the present.